welcome back, and today we're going to be using our little adventure collection to create this shaker card here. Now this collection is a fantastic one for all those little people in your lives, whether it's going to be the little boys, the little girls. It's a fantastic collection, and we'll share that collection with you a little bit as we move throughout this demo, but we'll get started with this card. Now I'm going to start off by actually creating the card base itself, and all we're going to do in order to create our card base is we're just taking a pre-made 6" by 6" card base. If you are making these yourself, all you need to do for this one is just take a 6" by 12" piece of cardstock, just score at 6", and that's going to give you your side fold 6" by 6" card base. Nice and easy to create. And I would say if you are making these yourself, to use a 300 GSM cardstock, just to make sure it's nice and heavyweight, so it's going to withstand all those layers, all that foam tape that we're going to be adding as we create this card. It's going to make sure it's nice and strong and sturdy. So that's our card base, and then we're going to bring in some of our mats and layers. So we've used that beautiful 6" by 6" paper pad that comes as part of this collection. Now this one's a little bit special because it's got that lovely pearlescent sheen to this one. So not just that beautiful printed design, but you've got that gorgeous pearlescent sheen on each and every single one of those gorgeous 6" by 6" sheets. And all we've done with this one is we've just matted and laid it onto some lovely purple cardstock there, just with an 1/8 of an inch border all around the edge to give it that nice thin matte and layer. And then we've die cut a circle aperture into the centre. Now what we've done as well is we've taken a circle aperture die here, and we've just die cut that into a frame. So we've got that lovely frame that will fit nicely around the edge of this aperture here. So we'll just grab our dotty tape pen, we'll pop some of our dotty tape onto the back of this frame here, and then we're just going to stick that onto that aperture just to really finish off that frame and give it that nice little mat of that purple card. Now you could be using your tacky glue to do this, but just for speed, just so we've got that instant grab onto our pearlescent cardstock, we'll go in with our dotty tape pen, which is going to be perfect for a lovely little frame that's nice and thin like this one. So we're just going to line this up, so just hover over, and we're lining up that frame with the inner edge of that die cut frame there, and that's just going to be sitting nicely all around the edge of that piece of cardstock there that really does finish off that aperture really nicely. Now what we'll do is we'll grab a piece of our acetate that we've cut ever so slightly smaller than this piece of cardstock that we've got there, and we'll bring in our tape pen, this time using our solid tape pen, to go all around the edge of this aperture here. You could use your red liner tape, that's perfect for your acetate as well. We're just going to go all around the edge there with our tape pen, and then we'll pop a little bit into the four corners of this piece of acetate to make sure it's going to be nicely stuck behind the aperture. So that's going to go onto the reverse of that. So just lining that up, making sure all of that tape is covered with our acetate. Then just giving that a nice little burnish just to make sure that all of that tape pen is going to grab onto that acetate there. And that gives us our aperture with our acetate behind. Now at this point, because we're going to create a shaker card, we need to bring in a 3D adhesive like our foam tape, or here we're actually going to use one of our 3D adhesive foam sheets. Now the beauty of this is that you can actually cut this into any size, any shape that you like. You can cut it with scissors like we're doing here, or you can actually even die cut it using your dies as well. So great for creating all those different shapes of your shaker cards. I'm going to cut a few lengths of our tape here down just like so. And all we'll do is we'll just take the backing off one side of that tape there, and we'll just curve that around that circle. Now the beauty with this one is you can actually go around all those curves. It's not just for your straight lines, it's for your circles, your ovals, all those rounded corners. You can actually go around those edges nice and easily, just like so. So that's our first piece onto there. And the key with our shaker cards is to make sure that we've got continuous barrier of that foam tape. So where we've got the end of that one, we're going to make sure that this next piece joins right up against that first piece. We've got that continuous barrier of our foam all around the edge, and then as we come to that join there, we're just going to cut that, so we're making sure that those two pieces are joined together perfectly with no gaps whatsoever into our wall of foam there. All we'll do just to finish this one off is I'm going to pop a few pieces of our foam tape just into the four corners to make sure that when we mat and lay this onto our card, it's going to be nice and sturdy, and we're going to have a nice bit of reinforcement onto that mat and layer, so nothing's going to sort of dip or sink as we add that onto our card base. So another piece of our foam onto here. And we're using quite a thick foam here. It's probably about 3 mil in depth, this one. So you've got plenty of room for that shaker, so the sequins that we're going to add can really shake about, and they're not going to sort of be stuck in that shaker at all. Now what we'll do at this section is we'll just start to peel the backing of our foam tape off. So just easing round all of that backing and just removing that. And I personally find when I'm creating a shaker, a little bit easier to remove all that backing first, then pour my sequins on. You can actually pour your sequins in first and then remove the tape backing, but I personally find it a little bit easier to actually remove that backing first. Otherwise, what you can sort of risk doing is spilling any of those sequins out the shaker. So always best to remove that backing from the tape first. So all the backing is removed now. And what I've done ahead of time is I've taken another piece of that lovely 6x6 inch paper pad that I've cut ever so slightly smaller than that matten layer there, that's going to go onto the reverse. A few different ways around you can do that. You can do it in this sort of method. So you create your shaker into that aperture there, then you add your backing over the top, and then that goes onto your card base. Or alternatively, you can add that matten layer onto your card base first, pour your sequins onto there, and then add that shaker over the top. But this way, by actually pouring your sequins into that aperture, it's a little bit easier in terms of making sure you get your sequins into the right place. Got a nice bag of sequins here, just a nice sort of white iridescent sequin, and we're just going to pour those into that recess that we've got in the middle there to create our shaker. Now with shakers you can add all sorts into that shaker there. It could be sequins, it could be glitter, it could be seed beads, it could be little die cut pieces, or you can actually use a mixture as well if you so choose. So lots of options in terms of how you can sort of play with these shakers and mix it up a little bit. So just making sure that I've got a nice sort of even layer of our sequins on there. The key thing to make sure is that your sequins aren't higher in depth than that foam tape that you've got all around the edge. Otherwise it will sort of catch as you try to enclose that shaker. So making sure that none of those are higher than the foam that we've got all around the edge. And then all we'll do is we'll take our pattern paper and we're just going to place that onto the reverse of our shaker, just like so. Give that a nice burnish to make sure that all that foam has adhered to that card, so that shaker is going to be encapsulated, and we'll just stick that onto there. And all we'll do is we'll grab our tape pen, make sure we've got some tape onto that piece of card that we've got into the centre, and then that's just going to go onto our card base, and that's going to create the basis of our shaker card. Easy as that. They're super easy to create, but they give you such an impactful look for all of your finished cards. So we'll bring in our card base here, which is our 6 inch by 6 inch card base, and we'll just line that up, so that's going to be in the centre of our card base, and that creates our shaker. So how fun does that look with all those lovely little sequins shaking about into our aperture there. So that's the main part of our card done, but at this point we'll bring in some of the lovely dies that we've got as part of this collection. So we're going to be working with that lovely Space Traveller sort of rocket ship themed die set here, and this is a great one for all of those scraps of cardstock, all those tiny little pieces of card that we all save. It's going to be a great one for using up all of those. So what I'll do is I'll bring in my die cutting plates ready. So I've got my plates for my Gemini 2 machine. Now the beauty of these dies is you can actually use them even in smaller machines, right down to your Gemini Mini as well. So lots of options in terms of size of machines. If you're crafting on the go, ideal to be able to use your Mini. So I've got a few different colours of cardstock here, and we'll start to cut the component parts from these different colours. And the great thing about your packaging as well is you have that sort of representation of that die on the front, so some sort of ideas of the colours you can use and the way that you can stick everything together to get that lovely rocket design onto that. So for the main body of the rocket here, which is this die, I'm going to pop that onto some of that lovely purple card, and then for the two almost like little, I'm going to call them wings, but I'm not quite sure if they are called wings. We'll call them wings for the purpose of this. Little wings, we'll cut those from your purple cardstock as well. And then we've got some of our orange and yellow card, which we're going to use to actually die cut our fire from. So we've got that larger part that will die cut from some of your orange, and then that smaller little part there will go from some of our yellow cardstock. We've got the frames of the windows, that's going to go from our black card. Got a couple of those sections there, which we'll cut from our black. It's all about just working out what sort of colour combination you want to go with, what sort of configuration, and just sort of having a little bit of a play in terms of how you want your rocket ship to look. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from cutting it from coloured cardstock, pattern paper. You could be creating your own backgrounds as well, perhaps using your inks or your paints, and of course you can die cut from that as well, which gives you a lovely effect. Now that's all of our pieces onto our cardstock. Now because we are die cutting so many different dies at once, it's definitely a good idea to make sure that you're actually going to tape all those dies into position. So just pop that little die onto the cardstock like so, and we'll grab some of our low tack tape and just make sure that we do tape all these dies down to make sure nothing moves as it passes through that die cutting machine. So all those pieces are going to tape together, and then we're going to tape to the cardstock. Now the beauty of taping your dies together is if you are batch making these, if you're going to make several of this same sort of design, you'll be cutting multiples of this rocket ship, what you can do is keep that tape onto your die, and then you can just run it back through your machine again with another piece of cardstock as many times as you like, and it just makes it a little bit quicker and easier, so great for your batch making. So we just pop two more pieces of tape onto our little aspect of the fire there, and then onto our inner part of the window, and then we can just run that through our die cutting machine. So with these being our thin metal dies, we've got our base cut in place, then we'll go in that with our frosted shim, and then we'll grab our magnetic shim, and then finally our cutting plate goes over the top, and that should be the perfect combination for our Gemini 2 die cutting machine. And then we'll just start to release all of those pieces from the dies. Now definitely do save that low tack tape. If you aren't using it for this particular project, then definitely do peel all that low tack tape off. I tend to have it on the side of my machine, so it's just there for easy usage whenever I next need it. But we'll just start to pop all these pieces out so we can start to build our rocket ship. Now a couple of the elements within this die set you do actually need to cut a couple of. So the ones where we've needed to cut multiples, which is for the window, in order to have 2 windows. But you could have 3 or 4 windows, as many windows as you like, depending on your project. Just cut the multiples that you need to, but I've already cut an extra window, so we are ready in terms of having that extra window cut for this particular rocket ship that we are going to be assembling. Just going around and just making sure we've got all those different pieces, and then I'll move my plates out of the way so we've got a little bit more of a clear area so we can see exactly what we're doing. So here's the main body of that rocket ship. We've got our 2 little wings, as we're calling them. They're going to go on either side, and I love the fact you've got both the left and the right in this collection here, so you've got the ability to cut both in one pass. This small little piece here, this little rectangle, is actually going to be almost like the aerial that sticks out the top of your rocket ship. Got our 2 pieces here that are going to make up that fire, so we'll just pop that one out of the die cut there. And then we've got all our pieces that we've die cut in black cardstock. So we've got our window there that we're just going to pop out of that die. And we've got the centre part, that blue part that's going to go in the middle of the window. And then we've got that outer part. Now what you could do with those 2, you could cut the smaller die into the large die if you wanted to create it as an aperture. But here we're actually just going to layer the 2 together. So we'll die cut the black, and then we're going to pop the blue die cut over the top. We've got our 2 little strips there that are going to go into the centre of our rocket ship, and then we've got our tiny little circle die that's just going to go on the very top of our rocket ship, and that's all our pieces die cut and ready to go. Now, as always, referring to that packaging where you've got that sort of clue as to how it's going to look when it's built. So we'll go in with our 2 little sides of the rocket ship to start with. I'm just going to grab my tacky glue. Now, having your fine tip glue applicator is definitely going to be a massive help when it comes to actually sticking these down. It's going to allow you to get into all these little small pieces and get all that lovely precision with your rocket ship. And the beauty with your tacky glue as well is that you've got that ability to move it around, just manoeuvre it until you're happy with where you've got everything positioned. So we'll have that one onto the right hand side, something like that. And although you do have that clue on the packaging, that sort of suggestion as how you can build it, of course you can mix things up. If you want to change up the colours, change up the way that you're positioning things, the number of windows, etc. Of course you can do that and mix it up and personalise it a little bit more as well. So a little bit of glue just on the end of both of those. I'm just trying to make sure it's quite nice and symmetrical in terms of the way I've stuck both of those down. We've got one window built up already, which has got our blue inside of the black there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a little bit of our tacky glue in the centre. Then I'm going to grab my wax tool here. I'm going to pick up that middle, and I'm just going to position that into the centre of there, and makes it so much easier to actually do it that way using your wax tool. So that's our 2 windows ready to go. And then we've got our bottom aspect here of the rocket, which will just add a little bit of our tacky glue to the very end of that piece there, and that just sticks to the bottom of our rocket. So I'm just going to slide that under until I'm happy with where that's positioned, and then a little bit of light pressure onto there just to help that glue grab a little bit more. So that's onto there like so. We've got our fire here. So once again, for this one, with it being quite a small piece into the centre, I'll add a little bit of our tacky glue onto that main piece. I'll grab my wax tool here. I'll pick up that smaller piece, add that into the centre, and that allows us to position that a little bit easier onto there. We've got our windows that we'll add onto our little rocket next. So a bit of our tacky glue onto the reverse of there. Then we'll add our lower window onto there just like so. And this is where these strips come in. We'll add our next strip just above that window there. So a little bit of tacky glue onto the reverse, and that's just going to sit nicely above there, just to add that nice little bit of detail. It really does make a difference to these sorts of designs. Then our next window is going to go above that. I'm just going to give that a minute to grab, just to make sure that tacky glue has nicely dried onto there. Then we'll go in with our next window that will go ever so slightly above that, just like so. And then finally we have our other little strip of black card here that will just go above that second window. So more tacky glue onto the reverse of there, and that will just sit above that window, just like so. And once again, just giving that tacky glue a few moments just to grab. It's not an instant grab with your tacky glue, but once it has dried, you know it's going to dry really nice and strong with your tacky glue. Then just a little bit of our tacky glue onto the end of that strip there. And in this instance, I'm going to pick the rocket up and I'm just going to position that just over the end of there, and then just to give that a few moments just for that glue to take onto that very small little detailed element there. Then our little circle there that we've cut from black, once again we'll go in with our wax tool just to add that to the top of that. And you do have a poker tool on the other end of your wax tool as well, so it is definitely a sort of a multi-purpose tool, great for all your intricate die cutting as well. We'll add our little fire, which is just going to go underneath, just coming out of the bottom of the rocket there. So a bit of tacky glue is going to go onto there. I'll just pick the rocket up and just position that so that that is coming out of the end of the rocket, and that's our rocket all good to go, all built up and ready to be added onto our finished card. As easy as that. So now that we've got our rocket all assembled, all built together, it's now time to put it on a little bit of almost like a spring to give it a little bit of a kinetic feel to our card. So all we've got here is we've taken a piece of our acetate, literally just an offcut that we had when we were creating that aperture, the acetate for that aperture, and it's about 3/4 of an inch in width. The width is not particularly important as long as it's a thinner width than the rocket itself, so it's not showing either side, then any sort of width is pretty much good to go with this one. And all we've done is we've just scored it at 1/2 an inch there, so we've created almost like an M shape with that one. And that's going to give us our acetate binder, technical term with that one, to give us that little bit of a kinetic feel to our card base. So all we need to do with this one is you need, for acetate, you need a nice strong adhesive, so anything like your tape pen or your red liner tape is going to be perfect. And we'll just take our tape pen and pop a little bit onto the one side, so one of those fold back areas of our little acetate spring here. We'll pop a little bit in the middle of our rocket as well, just to make sure it's going to be nice and secure. So that's going to go onto there, and then we'll just take our little spring here, and that's just going to stick onto the back of our rocket just like so. You can see even there it's giving that little bit of sort of movement onto your card. So that's stuck onto our rocket. Then all we need to do is stick it onto our card base across our shaker. So once again, we'll go in with our tape pen, red liner tape, will work a treat. You can use your tacky glue, although the thing with tacky glue is it does take an awfully long time to dry onto your acetate. So definitely a red liner tape or a tape pen is sort of the easiest ones to go for. So we've got our tape onto the back of that little spring there. And all we'll do is we'll bring back in our card base, and we'll just stick this into the middle of our card base, so almost like our rocket is sort of flying against the night sky there. So just going to centre that in the middle, and we're just going to stick that down. That gives you that lovely sort of springy element to your rocket. Now just to finish this off, we've added a few elements from the collection. So I've grabbed this really cute little Milo the Monster die set. Love this one. So much fun you can have sort of building up these little monsters. You could be playing football, you could be holding these balloons, you could have them in all sorts of different poses because all the dies are separate. But I've just taken the balloon from this die set. I've die cut it in black and some of that lovely purple card once again. We'll pop a foam pad onto the back there, and we'll just have that flying alongside that top right hand side of our card. I've grabbed one of the sentiment stamps as well, really fun sentiment stamps that we've got within this collection, and I've stamped out "Hope your birthday is out of this world" just on some of our white cardstock and matte and laid onto some of our purple, and that's just going to go onto that bottom right hand corner just to sort of balance with that balloon that's on that top left hand corner. So that'll just go down onto there, and then just to finish it off, I've taken some of the little shooting star dies that we've got within the rocket die set. Die cut a couple of those from white cardstock. I'll just go in with our tape pen, our dotty tape pen just on the star there, just so we've got a quicker grab, so we're not having to wait for it to dry for too long. And we'll have one flying on that bottom left hand corner. Then we'll take our other one there, we'll pop some of our dotty tape pen onto that star there and onto the little shooting trail there, and then that will stick onto that top right hand corner. Now the thing with your pearl cardstock, your tacky glue will stick to it perfectly, but just because it's got that coating, it will take a little bit longer for that glue to grab. But once it's grabbed, you have this lovely finished card, a really fun kinetic sort of interactive card made using that fantastic little adventure collection, but a very easy one and a really fun one to put together.